Okay, humans. This is Blue Raven, and this is the game I was hinting at when I made the Mutant League football video. This is Blood Bowl. I'm going to play through the story mode and explain a little bit about the game while it's going on. So, here's the story, explain the origins. I'll let you read, so you can pause this if you dare. So now I'm choosing one of the teams. Both of them are similar enough to me. Doesn't really matter. I picked Dwarfs. They're closer to humans. I usually play as either elves or Amazon. I like the agility. So, this is an American football turn-based strategy type of game. Mixed in with some gratuitous violence. So the overall objective for the game is to get the ball from one side to another.
The ball goes skywards and the match is on.
So there are several events that happen whenever you have a kickoff. I'll explain those a little bit later. You'll see them. You can read what that was, but so story mode has added objectives. So on the left side you can see game plans. It's just to finish the match. So here it doesn't matter if I win, lose. It starts me out with an advantage.
As soon as he throws his first punch.
We know the opponent will be out for lunch. A recent medical report stated that cerebral hemorrhages were less frequent in Blood Bowl players. Amazing when you come to think of it.
So in order to move the ball from one side to the other, most commonly, which the game intends, is that you knock down or tackle players of the other team. So to do that, you have to be in their tackle zone, or you have to be in each other's tackle zones. And then you make a roll. So this is based off of the Blood Bowl board game. So the dice are actually simulated in this game to be like how they were in the actual board game. So you can see there when I rolled, so the two die and the results. Just trying to make it as close to the actual game as I possibly could. So I'll explain these outcomes. So defender stumbles means they're either knocked down if they don't have the dodge ability. Their ability is shown up here. This is the attacker's down, so that means me being the attacker at the moment would end up being down, and I'll cause a turnover to go with their turn. And you get to choose which direction you knock them to, and if you'd like to follow them.
He skinned alive my colleague from Elf magazine.
What do you expect when you put an elf next to a troll? It's nothing personal, just an instinctive reaction.
So that's essentially what you do for each turn. You, if you have the ball, you're trying to defend the ball carrier. If you don't, you're trying to attack the ball carrier and take the ball from them.
Could be. Or maybe his opponent shouldn't speak that way about the family.
Each character has their own stats. So you can see here in the bottom. This is their movement, strength, agility, and armor value.
What violence!
So there are several outcomes whenever you do tackle an opponent. In this situation, there was an injury. So you can see This person was badly hurt. So they'll be out for the game. And now I'm down one character on the field. Other things that happen more commonly, the person is knocked down for one turn, so they're out until their next turn. So, like this guy here, he has to stand up so he doesn't get to move as far.
Blood Bowl is reputedly the toughest of all sports.
So they say, but it really only comes down to taking a few hits.
Also, you can get knocked down for 2 turns, so you have to wait until your second following turn to get up. There's knocked out, which means they're out of the game, and they have to roll to come back in. And rolls are only done whenever there's a touchdown scored or in between halves.
It is a violent sport.
Once per turn you do get a blitz, so that means you can move and tackle at the same time, or within the same turn. So here's a knockdown, but this character has dodge. Or a defender stumbles, but they have dodge, so they'll fall down. And whenever you attempt to move outside of your movement range, you have to roll. It's called going for it. If you roll anything other than a 1, it's successful. Here, if you roll anything other than 2, you fall down. So here, I failed. So my guy fell down, and I lost the ending of my turn.
Did you hear about the Evil Gits? The team that is made up of a mix of evil players?
Their fans won the Most Evil Supporters of the Year award. Fully merited from what I've seen.
Okay, and each player has a tackle zone, so there's one space, one block around them. In order to move move away from the tackle zone, you have to roll.
Nice left punch, right on the nose.
Sure was, Jim. It's broken now.
So this guy tried to move outside of their tackle zone. He failed to roll, so he ended up getting knocked down. So it is important to be aware of where the tackle zones are and try to move around them if you don't trust your agility or your luck, essentially, with rolling. And that's why it's good to have one person here. So I move these guys back so the opponents will be within their tackle zone. So if they want to move, they're going to have to move or make a roll to get out of the tackle zone.
Blood Bowl annals are littered with the stories of teams who've gone bust with crippling debts.
And with the cost of doping and bribery on the rise, the problem won't be going away.
In a game as physical as this, the player is really in the right place.
Exactly. It's really ugly.
So here I finally got one of my characters next to the ball carrier. Most likely they're going to get tackled, and their tackle zone is going to be pushed away from them.
Now there's one.
So each character has
back in a hurry.
abilities also. Are they called ability skills? They do various things. I'll explain them in time.
It seems this player does
You can
all
always
the
look them up.
talking with the fists.
and they clearly know how to get heard.
In the top right, it shows the number of turns remaining,
Yep,
or the turn number that we're on. So they just completed their 11th turn. Right now I'm on my 12th turn. There's 16 turns per game, 8 per half. I'm assuming you guys don't know math. So here I'm in a good position. So this means that I'm moving within or outside of a tackle zone. So this space is within their tackle zone, and I have to move within their tackle zone in order to get here. And the red shows that there's a possibility that I can get into danger by doing that. So I'll avoid that for the moment. Since I have a reroll up, I'm going to go for the single roll down, or single die attempt. Luckily it works.
This player has opened the slapping box and gives rather generously.
But unfortunately the ball fell within his tackle zone. So it'll be a little bit harder to pick up. So if you hover over the ball when it's on the ground, it'll show the die number. So you roll a d6, you have to get 4 more in order to pick it up. So it's pretty low chance. Don't want to do the math right now in my head.
Ouch! Have a nice sleep.
Little baby gets his medicine and he's having a little nap.
That reminds
So
me
right
of
now
when
I'm
I
just trying to
took
murder the
Griffin
guys.
in the 91 final against Reichland.
Oh yeah, you kneecapped him.
Now, Orcs have always gone for a power name, and you have to realize that it was only recently that they discovered the purpose of the ball during a match.
So let's see what they do. See if they go after the ball.
Oh, brilliant side kick to the face. Let's see that again in slow motion.
Okay, so what they're doing is making it so none of my characters have their tackle zone overlapping the ball to make it a lot easier for them to pick it up.
That's one regulation clobbering.
So now when I hover over the ball, it most likely is going to be a lot more difficult to pick it up. So 6+. Almost impossible. And here's a 2 red die, which means I would roll 2 die and the opponent chooses the outcome. And the best in your favor can be 3 die.
That's what happens when a pro crosses an amateur.
Yes, splotch.
Let's try to move some guys down there.
The most famous blocker was probably Pendy No Luck Stonewall. Remember him, Bob?
Oh yeah, every time he took a hit, his old mother used to come on the pitch and handbag the culprit. She had a total of 120 KOs during his career. Shame she disappeared during the match against the Lowdown Rats when she tried to spike a troll.
May she rest in peace.
So I'll show this off. So luckily I got 2 defender stumbles. So they have no choice but for that guy to get knocked down. That was extremely lucky. I almost never do that. But I decided to try it off just for to show it off for the video. So here we got a guy
You're assuming
with
then that he
a
had something between his ears.
ball in
to
his
begin
tackle zone, so 5 plus. I do have a reroll, so if I want to be risky, I can pick up the ball. Or if I fail an attempt to pick up the ball, then I will lose my turn. So I'm going to go for it anyway.
The sort of technical error that can cost you the game. The attack can get their game going again.
So I failed the pickup of the ball, and the ball does bounce whenever that happens. And
right on the spot.
He'll have a bit of trouble blowing his nose
pretty
from now
horrible.
on.
Wizards have not always been
So
able
this is
to
an injury.
cast spells safely from behind the
It shows what kind of
sidelines.
injury it is: concussion,
Playing
lose a
at the
1
time
point
in
armor
an
value.
Albion league, a second
You try to
division
cure
that
it.
prohibited spell casting from off the pitch.
Oh, yes. They were
And you get to
great.
choose out of 2 options. Occasionally it would be worse, so your characters can die.
Charge of a raving blood bowl star.
So your character will be gone forever. Luckily, this converted to being badly hurt.
Sound of the snap of the wizard's neck.
They attempt to pick up the ball and fail, therefore it is my turn now. So another thing, each character has, what are they called? It's like experience. I don't remember what SPP stands for. Whenever they can't remember what the, if you pass, you get 2 SPP. If you injure a player, you get 2 PP. If you make a touchdown, I think you get 3. But for performing well in a match, you get more PP, and PP is going to allow you to level your characters. You get more skills, stat bonuses occasionally.
That right hook was worthy of a
And here, this guy gets knocked
You're
out,
telling me it'll take a while to get over it.
so he's out until there is
Did you
a
hear
roll.
the Orchard Raiders lost their last match against the Dancers?
Dancers? You mean war dancers? You think you'll be able to get up after that blow, Jim?
Oh, yes. He's not the sort to stay down.
Have I used my... No, I haven't used blitz yet. I'm getting extremely lucky with these rolls.
Well, that's one with a good reason to go see the apothecary.
Yep, looks like he's gonna need a good one.
So here I'm going to take a risk and go for it. Try to stand next to the ball. Wait, I just walked into the tackle zone. So, using my tackle zone, so it'll be harder for him to move than pick up the ball. Assuming one of these guys don't move over and knock me down.
It's a catch!
Or that.
This player just needs to survive.
It's not looking good for the defense. He sent him down for a jack with the Astro Granite.
So since this has happened a few times, whenever a roll occurs and the choice is both down, if you have the block ability here, then you won't get knocked down when both down is chosen. So all characters with block are not knocked down, both down, as a result of the tackle.
We don't see much of the heroes of law these days.
I don't know.
For any spectators who aren't aware, the heroes of law hope to show the world a better way by honest, strategic playing on the pitch.
It's probably a good thing we don't see them. I know he had a front row seat for that assault, but I doubt he fully appreciate it.
He won't appreciate the gaping wound either.
Okay, so that was my second to last turn. Most likely I'm not going to score a touchdown, but luckily I already have 1 point, and the outcome of the match doesn't really matter, since all I have to do is finish it. So this first one in the story mode is just about getting you used to playing the game. Getting warmed up, a little bit of practice. So let me see. So sure hands makes it, gives them an automatic reroll if you fail to pick up the ball. So I'll attempt it.
The player has got the ball, and
So
now he's the main target.
So I'm going to show off a pass, since right now whatever I do doesn't really matter. So let's have a huge launch. So there's a...
There was a time when the colleges of magic hadn't yet ruled on limiting wizard assistants to teams.
Who could forget the
very low
infamous
chance that I'll pass it to the
2472
correct
Quagmire
person,
incident,
so
when rampant
do it
spell
anyway.
casting caused the entire Bright Crusaders Stadium to sink into the earth.
Nobody
Screw
could
roll.
stop that. People were blinded for miles around the stadium. Missed. I give up.
I even throw it in the right
Be
direction.
on the pitch.
Yes, they
Sure.
really could do with some training.
That's story mode, chapter 1. Here's going to show the results of the match.
Okay, so they're bigger and stronger than the opposition, but where did that get you?
Here's a little addition to the story mode. You can pause it to read.
Implies neurons.
There can be no excuses. No balls, no victory.
I'm not sure.
So it's just talking about the beginning of Blood Bowl. It was just Orcs and
During the whole match,
Dwarves, and
they
now
made sure that the opposition kept to their side of the halfway line.
other races
Football just ain't what it used to be. Nobody
have adopted
broke to
the
eyeballs.
It's just not entertainment.
tradition of
Funny
Blood
how
Bowl.
you get some refs who just can't let a match flow, and others who just take a back seat.
Here's the outcome. It shows all the stats. Each team gets 1 MVP. The MVP gets 5 SPP, and that's just for participating in the match. This is random, so a character can end up dying and get MVP, so it's kind of worthless. Here in story mode, you don't stay with one team, but if you're playing something like online, the SPP is very important. And it gives more statistics and all that stuff. So, here's the second match. I'm going to cut this off here. I'm just going to show off one match per game, so thank you for watching. This is Blood Bowl, Chaos Edition, and I am Blue Raven. Have a good time, everyone. Good night.